Which background do you come from?
So I'm from Wales, which is in the United Kingdom.
Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Britain. I went to school in a place called Walsall in the West Midlands. So I spent most of my childhood there. Rugby was the main sport there. So although soccer was very big, I just played rugby.
How old were you when you started playing rugby?
So I played soccer a lot when I was a kid, and then I first played rugby when I was 11 years old.
What did your parents do?
What did my parents do?
Yeah.
So my father was in the Royal Air Force, and my mother just had an ordinary job working in town.
Is your family a sporty family?
Yeah, so my father is Jamaican, and for West Indians, cricket is the main sport. So most of my family were crazy about cricket and boxing as well.
Roughly, how many national games did you play?
So I played 94 times for Wales over 10 years, from 1996 to 2007.
Why did you retire and how did it feel afterwards?
It didn't feel good retiring. I retired because I was getting old and I had one more knee injury and I had an operation, but it wasn't good enough for me to carry on playing as a professional rugby player. So I was forced to stop. I miss playing, but I'd say more than anything I miss being with the team. So they were all my friends, and for all those years we played rugby together, and now I'm not with them.
It's quite sad. Right, so in your opinion, do you think rugby is helping the global society to make people's lives better?
I think we learn a lot from rugby. I think as a guy who's playing the game, you learn about team spirit, you learn about how to work well together as a group. And I think I was very lucky to play for Wales, so I met lots of different cultures. We went on tours to different countries. There were a lot of people I would never have met and seen what their lives are like if it hadn't have been for rugby. And I think also with the supporters, you know, it brings different towns, different cities, different countries together to share the enjoyment of sport.
What's your favourite food?
My favourite food, I do eat a lot of steak, and I like it very rare.
What do you do to contribute to the global society?
At the moment, I'm ambassador for a couple of charities. One of them in particular is called the JAG Foundation, and we help children in South Africa get away from crime and drugs and get them into sport, and through sport they get a much better attendances at school. So that, for me, probably that's the most important thing that I do as an ex-sportsman.
Which team is your favourite team?
So my favourite team at the moment, because it'll probably change, is Wales. We've won another championship this year, and I'm just very proud of the guys, and I feel very proud to have had an opportunity in my life to play for my country. And every time I get to see Wales play, it gives me goosebumps.
Do they have a fan club?
Do they have a fan club? Yeah, there's a very big fan club. Most international teams have a union and thousands of supporters. But you then get letters from members of the fan club as well. So I know that there's a horse, 2 chickens and a dog named after me. So that's one thing I heard from the fan club.
How many different nationalities have you played with, roughly?
I've probably played rugby with maybe 10, 12 different nationalities. There's some very different cultures. For example, Tongans, Fijians, Samoans. Obviously you've got the British guys, the French guys, the South Africans. Australians, Argentinians, all sorts of people. Once you can get past the language, they're just the same as everyone and they just enjoy the game.
Do you know any organisations helping disabled people through sport?
Yeah, so I'm the patron of the Sereni Centre, which is in Wales, and this charity, it's called Sparkle, and what we do is we raise money to pay for facilities for disabled children to be able to participate in sports that every other child gets to join in. Unfortunately, it can be a little bit difficult. For example, you need special wheelchairs to play rugby, you need special wheelchairs for basketball, but the kids enjoy playing sport, they all smile, they play with their brothers and their sisters, and we all have fun.
What do you think about the role of sports in society?
I think that sport is a good way of uniting people. We've got to remember that sport is about fun, it's about enjoyment, and it's about being healthy. So you can bring together a city, you can bring together a nation, and also you get different nations meeting each other. And the sports field is you go out there and you play against each other, and straight away after the game you shake hands, you say well done if they've won, they say well done if you've won, and you make new friends. So I think sports can be a very good, calming and great way for people to meet.
What roughly was your worst injury?
My worst injury, I think that the injuries that you have that require stitches, they're the ones that your family are watching and your grandmother doesn't like to see your face with a lot of blood all over it. But probably for me was a knee injury where I snapped some ligaments, and it's just very, very painful, and you have to wait a couple of days until you can get. I was in Europe at the time, so it took a few days for me to get home, then a few more days before I could have my operation. So I didn't enjoy that time.
Do you think it's important to teach poor countries sports?
Yeah, I think one of the good things with sport is essentially, you only have to buy one ball, and then you just need two people. So for poor countries, for rich countries, just for kids in general, I think everyone can enjoy sport and have a lot of fun. And whatever your worries, in particular, a lot of the challenges that poorer countries face, for the kids to be able to just relax and enjoy sport, maybe once or twice a week, is a great opportunity for them to enjoy what every kid around the world can do.
Do you think sport is important to youngsters?
I think the two things for youngsters that the main thing with sport, one, it's healthy, it's very good for you. Sitting at home all day, eating junk food isn't that good for you. Getting outdoors, enjoying some sport, but also you learn a lot of lessons. You learn about working as a team, you learn a lot of respect for different people, you learn to rely on one another and to trust one another. So I think that the lessons you learn through a lifetime in sport are invaluable for the challenges you'll face later on.
Do you have a favourite charity that supports equal rights in sports?
I'd say my favourite sports charity is the JAG Foundation, because it just gives children in South Africa an opportunity to get away from crime and drugs and gangs and things like that. That they get an opportunity to play sport, and generally the kid that plays more sport ends up doing a lot better at school. So it's a great tool in helping a kid improve their life.
How do you think sports could change the world?
I think sports is always changing the world. It's a constantly evolving thing. Different cultures are meeting. It's constantly growing. I mean, soccer is a completely worldwide sport, and if there's one thing that people from different countries and different cultures will agree on, it's an enjoyment of soccer. It's enjoyment of all sorts of sports. So I think anything that brings people together, that they can enjoy each other's company, is a good thing. Hopefully that's what sport does.
Do you think the local labourers in Dubai deserve the same rights as us?
I think everybody around the world deserves the same rights. We're all, at the end of the day, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes. We're all human beings, and the rights to live a healthy lifestyle, the rights to play sport, of course. I think it's just a chance to have fun and relax and meet new people.
Do you like giving up rugby? No, giving up your spare time to teach other people rugby?
Yeah, well, I was very lucky. I managed to get a lot out of playing rugby. I was fortunate enough to have a career playing as a professional. So I quite like coaching kids, coaching adults, and just seeing other people enjoy a sport that I love so much.
Do you think sport is important to keep people healthy and to keep down healthcare costs?
I think one of the main things I found from a lifetime in sport is the phrase healthy body, healthy mind. And I know when I was at school and I was enjoying my sports, it meant I'd enjoyed being at school more, so I studied more, and I think I did better in my exams as a result of being involved in sport. And I think now in the rest of my life that being healthy, I don't really worry about the health costs that the government have to pay, because they'll be paying for the operations on my knees. But it's just one of those things that the healthier you are, the happier you are.
How, in your opinion, does sport make you a better person?
I learnt a lot from playing sport. I learnt to be humble. I learnt to enjoy success. I learnt how to be part of a team, how to respect other cultures. It's a very long list of things that you can get out of sport. We all just have to find our own thing. But for me, it was thoroughly enjoyable. I love nothing more than putting on my rugby boots and going out and playing.
Do you like Dubai?
Do I like Dubai? Yeah, I really like Dubai. I've been coming here now for 3 years, coaching kids while I'm over here a lot. I first came here in 1996 to play in the Dubai Sevens, so I know you guys weren't alive back then, but did we win? No, we lost actually in the final to South Africa, but I've always enjoyed coming to Dubai. It's a nice fun place to come for a couple of weeks.